Hi, I'm Erin and this is Seven Forks. Today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to do a Pinterest challenge. So earlier this week, my husband went on the Seven Forks Pinterest site and he picked a recipe from the things that I thought looked good, but I've never tried before. So I have no clue what we're making today. It should be rather interesting, hopefully a little fun, and hopefully end in some yummy results. So, as you know, if you use Pinterest, there's lots of wonderful ideas out there, lots of things that look fabulous, but I'm sure most of you have found out that sometimes you find things that look good and you end up trying them and they look disastrous compared to what theirs look like, or it tastes horrible. There's lots of different things. It's full of surprises. You never know what you'll get. So we thought it would be fun to do this challenge so that we can kind of taste test some things and hopefully you can kind of take our judgment and see if it ends up being good. Now, to give you background on myself, I have no professional experience. I'm just a mom. I just like to cook in my kitchen. I like to bake. So hopefully if I can replicate it, you can too. So let's make some happy time. All right, so my husband has given me his laptop. He has the recipe pulled up. I'm a little nervous, but it's something I obviously thought looked good. So hopefully I can live up to his expectations of what he thinks I can do in the kitchen. Let's find out what we're making. All right, we're making cupcakes. It says this: banana chocolate swirl cupcakes. It is from a site called yourcupofcake.com. Let's get started. All right, so I've collected the ingredients that I need to make the cupcakes. We are going to need baking soda, lemon juice, a box of yellow cake mix or white. I had yellow, so that's what I'm using today. 2 ripe bananas, sour cream, a mixing bowl, vanilla, oil, measuring cups, measuring spoons, cinnamon, buttermilk, 3 eggs, back to the buttermilk. You can always make your own. We might go over that, how to do that another time. Super easy. Muffin tins that are lined with paper. That makes cleaning so much easier. And a spatula. So let's get this recipe started. All right, when I gave you the list of ingredients and supplies, I forgot a couple things. You're gonna need another bowl, a sifter, and there's a few other things if you want to follow exactly how she does her cupcakes. She uses, I think, at least 3 different bowls to make her cupcakes. I hate dirty dishes, so I'm going to modify a little bit so I use less dishes. So if you want to follow how she does it, go ahead and go to the website, or we'll see how it works when I do it this way. First, you're going to take your cake mix and the cinnamon and you're going to put it into the sifter. I have enough spoons in it, I don't know anything else. Hopefully I don't make a mess. So pour your cake mix into the sifter, and then you're going to have 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and sift that together into your bowl. And I think I just barely have enough cinnamon. Hopefully, if not, we'll get the last couple bit in there and not worry about going and getting anyone downstairs. All right, sift away. All right, next we're going to mash our bananas. In the recipe, she has you doing it with a fork, but since I plan on using my stand mixer, I'm just gonna have it do the work for me. So take your 2 bananas and break it up and put it into your stand mixer. Then you're gonna turn it on and let it do the hard work for you. Here we go. All right, we have our bananas nice and mashed. We're gonna add a teaspoon of baking soda and a teaspoon of lemon juice. Now this, obviously, she had you doing it in a separate bowl, but I'm gonna do that all together. We're gonna give it a little tiny mix real fast for maybe a couple seconds. All right, next we're gonna add in our eggs. And let's see what else. Our buttermilk and vanilla. She has this in a different bowl, but we're just gonna do it all together. So 3 eggs. All right, and then after that, we're gonna do 3/4 cup of buttermilk, which I don't think I have a measuring cup for. Let me find one. And after we put all those things in there, we're going to give it another little mix. Now, if you don't have your own buttermilk, you can easily make it with regular milk and vinegar or lemon juice. There's recipes all over, super simple. Then we're going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla and we'll give it a mix. All right, I totally forgot to add the oil. We're gonna add that now and mix it up. Oh, and the sour cream. Man. All right, 1/2 cup of sour cream. All right, last but not least, we're gonna add the cake mix that we've sifted. In the recipe, it said to stir it all together. Instead of doing that, I'm just mixing it on low, and then I'll stop and give it a little stir, make sure everything's incorporated, and do a last little mix. All right, we have the mix all ready to go. And I like to fill up my cupcake liners just using a small little measuring cup. I find that easier. I'm just gonna take it, and it says pour it for about 3/4 of the way full. So let's see how these turn out. We have our cupcake liners filled, ready to go. The oven is on 350. We're gonna put them in and have them bake for 15 to 22 minutes. When they're done, I'll let you know how long I had to bake mine for. Now, just a little advice if you're not familiar or very comfortable in the kitchen, start with the lowest time on your timer because you can always check it and add more. If you start with the most amount of time and it gets done before then, you can't take back burning your cupcakes. So we're starting with 15 and we'll see if we'll have to add more. Our cupcakes have finished baking. Mine baked for about 17 minutes. Like I said earlier, just start with the 15 and test them with a toothpick and make sure that when you insert it into the middle, the toothpick comes out clean. So mine baked for 17 minutes. Now we need to make the 2 different types of frosting we're going to use for the cupcake. We're making a cream cheese frosting and a chocolate frosting. And for both of those, you'll need 8 ounces of cream cheese, 2 sticks of butter, powdered sugar, vanilla, 1/3 cup of cocoa. We're going to use a piping bag today. If you don't have one, you can use a Ziploc bag, a spatula, a rubber spatula, a mixing bowl, and today I'm going to try a trick that I've seen on the internet. I haven't tried before, but we're going to try it and see. We're going to use saran wrap for that. So if you watch the video and think you want to try that too, you'll need saran wrap. So let's get started on the frosting. Okay, we're making the cream cheese frosting. We're going to add softened cream cheese. It's 8 ounces. And then we're going to add 1/4 of a cup of butter that has been softened to room temperature. And then we're going to beat those for 2 minutes to get them all incorporated and light and fluffy. The cream cheese and the butter is beat for 2 minutes. We're going to then add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we'll slowly add the powdered sugar. It says until desired consistency. I like mine kind of thick, but yet again, just like anything, start with small amounts and then you can add more, because if you add too much, it's a little bit harder to take that out and fix the problem. So I'm adding a couple cups, and we'll turn it on low so it doesn't splatter all over, and then adjust the speed up higher. done. It's kind of thick. See how it kind of holds its form? It's not gonna hopefully melt off the top of the cupcake. That's what I want. We're gonna put it in a bowl. Woo! And then hopefully, we'll get started. Well, not hopefully. We'll get started with the chocolate frosting. For the chocolate frosting, we're gonna put the rest of our butter, which ends up being a stick and a half, in. And then my butter's pretty soft. It's room temp, a little bit more than room temperature. So I think I'm just going to, instead of beating the butter, I'm just gonna put the cocoa in and mix it together. Just skip that first step. Oh, I guess I need the mixing utensil on my mixer. Now we're gonna add a teaspoon of vanilla and the powdered sugar. Yet again, the same thing. You're gonna want to add enough powdered sugar to get it the thick desired consistency that you like. I'm gonna start with a couple cups and mix it in and go from there. I have both of my frostings ready. Now here's the trick we're gonna try. I have a piece of saran wrap for each color of frosting. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take a decent sized scoop and put it kind of in the middle of our saran wrap. Now my piping bag isn't super big, so we might not be able to frost all the cupcakes with this one set of frosting, but we'll do what we can. So we're gonna roll, I don't know if you can see that, the frosting up in the saran wrap, just like that. And you're gonna take it and kind of get it tight. Do you see how that goes? We'll do another one because we have the chocolate one to do. So the vanilla cream cheese frosting is ready to go. And we're gonna take a scoop of our chocolate. This one happened to be a little bit thicker, but it'll be okay. And put it in the middle of our saran wrap. Now if I had bigger piping bags, I could probably do bigger quantities of frosting. But for today, we're just gonna use what we have. You're gonna fold it over and then try to wrap it as snug as you can in the saran wrap. Take the ends, twist them up. Then we're gonna take our piping bag and we're gonna cut a little hole into the bottom. If you wanted to, you could use a frosting tip, but on the blog, she just had a regular swirl, just a flat tip, so I figured what's the point of dirtying a tip if you could just cut the piping bag and get the same effect. Open your piping bag and you're going to drop one down, but you want the twisted part to hang down. And see if you can get that to come out the end. Maybe I'm gonna try, since I haven't done this before, we're kind of learning together. And I think I'm gonna put both of them in together at the same time. And this also helps with easy cleanup. So if I even wanted to use this piping bag again, because I didn't have enough frosting, then I could do that because I could just pull the saran wrap out. Now, I think we have a tad of a predicament, but let's see if we can fix it. My first attempt didn't work so well, so we're gonna try again with this frosting trick because I think it's a great idea, and I think it will work perfectly. But because of the size of my piping bags, I'm gonna do more of a long, narrow strip because I found that if the ends are a little bit, there's more end to feed through the frosting, the piping bag, it's gonna be better. So we're gonna just make a long, narrow strip of frosting because I'd much rather throw away a thing of saran wrap than have to clean a piping bag. Although the ones I'm using are disposable, so that's not a huge deal. So I have my saran wrapped lengthwise. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna fold it over, roll it up, make a little log. This one's a lot more narrower, skinnier, so hopefully I can fit them in my piping bag better. My last the piping bag I'm using is a little bit smaller. It's just a 12-inch one. So if I had a bigger one, it probably would have worked better with those short, fatter frostings I had the first time. So we got them all wrapped up. What we're gonna do, I'm gonna do something a little bit different too, is match them up like this. And then I'm gonna take an elastic and put together the two ends that I won't be threading through. That way the frosting doesn't squeeze out the top and make a mess out of the top of my bag. So if I need to add more and reuse the bag, it's gonna be easy to do. All right, so new piping bag, cut the tip off. Fingers crossed that this time is a little bit easier and this trick works. We're gonna take the frosting, put it in the bag. We want the ends of the saran wrap going down so it can thread through. There's one. We can get the other one out, hopefully. All right, there's two. And pull them down. You want them kind of even. I think we're gonna have to make the hole of our piping bag a little bit bigger. And we're gonna cut the tips of the saran wrap so that the frosting can come out. So we're gonna have a big hole. Now, the first one's always gonna be an experiment because we gotta get both sides of the frosting to come out. So you're gonna wanna squeeze both sides and we're gonna make a circle and just go around. Now see, that one wasn't perfect, but let's try number two. See if we can make it look a little bit prettier. All right, that one's pretty good. Let's try another one, see if we can do a little bit better. So you're gonna start on the outside, work your way around. Let's try one more. Go around in a circle. Slowly lift up. My frosting's slowly coming out of this. Don't have much left in it. But there's another one. Now, if my piping skills were a little bit better, I think we'd be almost spot on with how it looks on the website, except for the banana on top, which we won't add until the very end because most of us know bananas get kind of brown if they're out too long. So here is the final cupcakes. Now, we didn't have sanding sugar, so that's not on there, but everything else should be about the same. Now, when it comes to what I thought about the recipe, the frosting is the biggest pain in the butt to do the swirls, but it does look super nice. I found that so far it works better to have this work on the smaller batches of frosting and just do several cupcakes of a small batch of the cream cheese and the chocolate mixed together than do a big huge batch. I'm still experimenting. I still have more cupcakes to frost. And also, if you're gonna frost all 24 cupcakes with the same amount of frosting, you're gonna need more frosting to cover them, or just use less frosting on your cupcakes. Let's see what the kids have to think. Our cupcakes are done. I know it looks a little massacred, but we're having some friends over to share these cupcakes with, and I really didn't want all of my kids to have 2 cupcakes, so we decided we just let them split one to share so they can let you know what they think, and then when our friends come over, they can have some more. Let's dig in. Grab a piece. Tell me what you think. It's okay. Yep, just a minute. Well, you get the plate, lucky you. Okay.
I'm the lucky one.
Okay, first bite. What do we think? I guess finish chewing. Thumbs up for you. What do you think, baby K? You like that?
It's really good.
You like that?
Tastes like banana bread almost.
Tastes a little bit like banana bread. It does.
With the banana on top, it gives out that banana flavor a lot more.
So I think overall, this is a pretty good cupcake. I don't know if it's my favorite, but it's enjoyable. Frosting made it a little bit difficult, but feel free to give it a try and let me know what you think.